How is it being back?
Feel good to be around everybody. I missed it being here. Just around the players. All the just everything. The atmosphere. I just been chilling. At home, relaxing, and trying to get right for this. Trying to get used. Well, I'm trying to get used to this weather. It's too hot out here. I'm trying to, but no, I'm glad to be back though.
How do you feel physically coming in?
I'm good. I feel good. Ankle good. So everything up right now.
What's kind of the off season just kind of been like for you with all the chatting, I guess?
I really don't care, to be honest, because it is what it is. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. If not, then I'm here. So I really don't get into it. I really don't feed into it, to be honest. I talked to DA already, and we good. So everything else is just talk to me.
Was it annoying at all?
I don't care. I really don't. I ain't gonna lie.
What is your standpoint on it, though? Obviously you guys worked together on a contract that left some options open. Is it something you wanted to explore the idea of?
No. It was just we had a situation, a personal situation that we worked through, but it wasn't like I wanted to leave or he wanted me to leave and nothing like that. It was just, I don't know how y'all looked at it, but it was just a situation that happened, personally. But it wasn't nothing like that. Like I wanted to leave. I told him I don't want to leave now.
And yeah, so from this point forward, like you said, if something happens, but you feel all in, committed.
For sure. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta be here. I gotta be present. I'm not thinking about if I'm gonna get traded or not, nothing like that. I don't really care, to be honest. I don't.
Do you feel like the air has been cleared between you guys to the point where everything's just, I don't know, livable, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. I ain't got no problem with it. It's all business at the end of the day. I can't have no personal problem because, he want to trade me or something. Like, it is what it is. Everybody know they come here and what can happen. You know what I'm saying? I've been hurt for 2 years, so I understand. People probably don't think, I'm the same type of player, whatever the case may be, but all I gotta do is prove to people that I am, so that's really falling on me, to be honest.
Was it a situation where you guys did need to kind of have that talk, though, just to get back to being on the same page?
Not for me, but of course, communication is the key for everything, so we talked through it, and, we made a plan for what I'm going to do this offseason and all that, and so that's all we did.
Is there anything different you do? Obviously the injuries, you can't, they're freak injuries, but is there anything you do training-wise to try to sustain longer during the season?
No. No, not really.
Marshawn, you talked about two, everybody's always ranking corners, everybody's making lists. Yeah.
So,
well, you've had 2 injury-related seasons, so how eager are you to remind everybody?
I want to. I feel like I started last year like that, all-pro type of season to me, so I'm just ready to be better than that than what I was, and I'm working towards that, so, I'm just ready.
How tough was that for you just dealing with injuries, though, having not really dealt with them to the last 2 seasons?
Yeah, it was fluke injuries. Right. Really nothing I can do about it. It was the kidney and my rib, freak accident in my ankle. I got rolled up on, so it wasn't really nothing like my body breaking down and nothing like that, so I'm not really too worried. I'm just worried about getting my body all the way 100% so I can go out there, after the injury like my ankle.
Well, Chase, how's the rehab process going so far?
It's going great, man. It's taking it one day at a time.
At what stage are you? I know DA said they wanted to see you probably in training camp, and we would know a little bit more, I guess, after next week when you see the doctor. But what stage are you?
Yeah, I'm back training, doing everything, lifting. So, yeah, I'm back in that stage.
Do you have a timetable? Will you be ready for training camp? Or, what is your expectation?
Right now, just taking it one day at a time, staying in my playbook. So my number's called, I'm ready.
Yeah, how important for you has it been to, I guess, stay around the team while you're in this process?
Great, man. Definitely getting in touch with the guys. Knowing a lot of the guys already. A lot of the old state boys here, so it's been great.
Are you encouraged by how you feel so far after the procedure?
Oh yeah.
What your expectations were from what people told you how it goes?
Oh yeah, no, I feel fine. Shit, I just ran 1050s. Shoot, I'm getting back in shape. Getting in the weight room, about to get strong again. So, yeah, I'm gonna be ready.
What potential do you see with this defensive line?
Yeah, we definitely stacked. I see a lot of great things. We work together. I think sky's the limit.
What conversations have you had with some of the veterans like Cam or any other people on the D line?
Yeah, just going to Cam, just asking about certain things in terms of how he sees offenses, just whole time he's been in the league in terms of formations and how he picks up on little pre-snap reads and things like that.
Chase, I think Mickey said, you dove into the deep end of the pool. How, I guess, much important is it for you to be this invested with this team, and how much are you enjoying that investment?
Yeah, no, it's real cool, man. I love it here. Only thing I had to get used to is that heat. But it's real cool. Great teammates. And everybody welcomed me with open arms, so it was a great experience.
Chase, I
He's
apologize
gonna get
if
worse.
you answered this already. Is training camp day one, is that a realistic expectation?
I'm just focusing on the day.
Are you running it?
Yep.
Marshawn is another Ohio State guy. Just having him back in the building. Just talking about that.
Oh yeah, big bro. It's definitely excited to play with him. We always chatted, obviously, on different teams, but I'm definitely excited to play with him. That's gotta be big for me.
Was that one of the guys when making the decision that you kind of talked to about what this locker room is like?
Yeah, Marshawn, Tyran. But yeah, I mean, it was we got a lot of great guys in this D. You look at that, on paper, I feel like definitely one of the most talented defenses in the league for sure. Now it's all about just putting it together and coming together as a team.
You kind of, in years past, have talked about getting here and seeing what it looked like, what it felt like, what it's supposed to be at the highest level. It's just the off season, and you've just been here for a day or so far. You've been here besides.
Yeah. I get
Do
it.
you feel like, does it feel different? Does it feel maybe kind of how you remember, like something great could be happening?
Yeah, I mean, it feel different. You got different coaches, you got different faces in here. Obviously, I haven't been here, but I mean, I know what's going on. I think when you've been in this profession for a minute, you kind of some certain things don't change. Obviously, faces change, coaches change, but I mean, this game don't change. When I'm here, it's the same. I mean, it is what it is. When I leave, it's gonna be the same game. Like, I mean, I guess not, because the kickoff rule changed. It might be flag football or something, but it's the same. It's the same, man. But you get the differences come when you. I feel like the preparation and certain standards and things like that. That's when you get changed. Like when you hold yourself to a certain standard. When you prepared a certain way. Just little things like that.
What's it like for you just to learn like a new offensive language after doing the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, you get comfortable doing one thing, right? So for me, I don't feel any stress from it. It's just like, okay, I gotta throw away 7 years of the same thing. Like I can come in and I can sleep. I could do it with my eyes closed. And now it's like, okay, I got to pay attention a little bit more, but it's not nothing. It's the same thing.
And just like for an offense as a whole, is there anything that can be gained from kind of just throwing everything out that was kind of built for 20 years and kind of everybody starting out fresh, same page, kind of getting the fresh start, poach on that you was kind of delayed a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, change is good. Like I said, I think all of us were a little comfortable. The guys that were here, that have been here. So just starting fresh and everybody starting at the same time, kind of with a different system. I think it'll be beneficial, especially because of what the system is.
The way Derek finished last year, the way he played, you're confident that's going to carry over, and we'll see more of that?
Yeah, I think so. He a vet, and I think sometimes last year he wasn't in the best position to make plays. But I mean, he the quarterback, he the general. He got to go out there and still do what he got to do. So I mean, he finished well. I've been watching some of the film. I think he's been playing well through OTAs. Camp, I expect him to come in and perform, and then we get into the season, and it's time.
Do you feel like this new offense accentuates what you do best?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, you watch some of the past offenses that Clint has been able to operate, and then most recent, you look last year, and you look at Christian, what he was able to do. I mean, I'm excited for that.
It's a team sport, but just kind of following up on what Brett said about the stats, individually, do you almost relish the opportunity to say, like, if you forgot about me, don't forget about me?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I don't really, like I said, like, I'm not a stat dude. I don't stack myself up against other guys. Like, I mean, we talk about Christian and all. Like me and Christian talk. Like I enjoy watching him play. Like when I enjoy when he's able to do the things he does. And then I mean, personally, obviously, I enjoy when I'm having success. But I think my message has been the same since I've been here. Like, I do whatever I got to do. You know, whatever's asking me, I kind of just do that.
You talked to him about just kind of the system? Like, have you talked to him since?
No, I ain't really talked to him about the system. I just, we just talked. Yeah, I ain't really talked to him about the system, though.
You mentioned the new kickoffs, and you've had some good returns in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is going to be different, but how do you feel about the possibility of being a returner again in certain situations?
If I got to do it, I'll do it. It's cool. I mean, it is what it is.
Do you like the new kickoffs, though? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't really care for it. I don't know. I mean, it's just something else to adapt to. Yeah, not that I don't like it, but it's just another thing to adapt to.
We were asking a bunch of players that whether they like it, they don't like it, or
I'm indifferent. Yeah, I'm indifferent. It is what it is.
So you don't look at it and say, this suits me, I could dominate this?
Just like, I mean, I feel like I could dominate any of it, so it's not like I feel like I have an advantage now with this rule. It's just another. If I get the ball in my hands, I feel good.
Right. But it would probably be situational anyway. You probably
yeah.
You mentioned looking at the OTA film. Like, are you watching that even when you aren't here?
I watch it. I got access to all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm just not in the building and then nothing's happening. You know, I talk to these dudes. These are my teammates. I talk to some of the coaches. Like, I don't know. I think it's like a weird like little narrative going on. I don't know.
Could you maybe help explain to people who don't understand why it's so important for some players to stick with what has served them well, like you're saying the Miami thing and everything?
Yeah, I mean that's what I've done to prepare. I understand what kind of the word has been is doing something different and everybody being here, and I kind of just, for me it was just I kind of just stuck to what I know. I don't think any of my teammates took offense to it really. I still, like I said, I still talk to them. I talk to all these dudes, a lot of these dudes every day. It is what it is. Like, it's like, oh, well, there's different things pulling and this, that. Like, I had a family last year. It's not something that's pulling on me. Like, I work out 3 times before 1 o'clock. My daughter has swim lessons. Go do that. I eat lunch. I do it like I'm doing normal stuff. There's no extra stress. The most stressful thing for me right now is like, my left rear tire has low pressure. Like, yeah, like that's like, you know what I'm saying? Everything else, I'm good. Like I feel great, So, yeah, that's that. I feel good. I'm doing what I've always done.
Do you feel like that gets missed sometimes? Like you're talking about essentially just being human.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that gets missed in the glory of the NFL and maybe just pro sports in general?
Yeah, I think it do. Like with me, honestly, you can ask anybody that knows me. When the season is over, I'm not like in football guy mode. Like I'm just Alvin. Like I feel like I've been there even throughout the season. Like I'm always just me. Like the sport is the sport. I've been blessed to be able to produce on the highest level and break records and be a Pro Bowler. But at the same time, at the end of the day, I'm always just like I'm just Alvin. I'm not 41. I don't got a helmet on. Like I'm just a dude.
How do you feel about Christmas Eve in Green Bay?
I don't like cold weather, so I mean we'll see. It's a game. I mean I like Lambeau actually. I played there. We played there my rookie year, and then we played. I mean obviously we was there for preseason, but it'll be a good game.
Christmas game went pretty well for you a few years ago.
Yeah, it did. A few years ago though, we got
holiday theme here.
Still have the Cleveland wetsuit.
Oh man, yeah. I probably threw that shit in the trash somewhere. That was cold. That was a cold one.
Just how you feeling so far?
I feel fine, man. I'm just because I'm not here don't mean I'm not working. I'm doing what I got to do, so I feel good. Yeah, I feel good.
Well, obviously, that means you've heard some of the noise about you not being here, and just being here and just silencing any of that criticism. Where is that on your checklist?
During the off season, I don't look at nothing football related. So what's the noise?
You hadn't been here, man. The new offense, trying to get adjusted to it. How's that going?
It was good. Was I here last year? During OTA?
Yeah.
Anybody can answer that? Was I here last year for OTA? Yeah. Did I? The year before? I'm good, man. It's a new offense. I think I've been in contact with Clint, been in contact with guys. I mean, I have a playbook. I got an iPad, so it's fine. I mean, different. It's different when you go do it, right? You know, looking on paper. Like I've never been really a paper guy. I like getting in there and getting into action and doing it, but nothing's changed from what I've been doing the past couple of years.
What do you like about the scheme itself?
I think it's very intentional. The looks and the run looks, pass looks, protection, everything is intentional about this offense. So that's what I'm looking forward to. You knowing what you're doing, why you're doing it, when you're doing it.
How much of some of these plays, I guess, similar to what you've already done? I think DA said a lot of it is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of I think opportunities for you to make a play when your number's called. I think even when even when you know there's a play for another guy, I think there's a lot of room in this offense to still be open and available to be able to get a ball or to make an impact on the play.
How excited were you to find out this is the scheme you guys would be running? It seems like a lot of the players were excited to hear about running Clint Kubiak's scheme. Yeah,
I mean, you saw what he was able to do. So it's definitely exciting.
What do you think about what it does for the running backs?
You look at the history of this offense. I mean, it's pretty. I just say it's good for the running back.
Can you talk about everybody learning it together? Can that be beneficial? That it's not like Derek parachuting in last year to what you knew and others knew. You're kind of all starting at the same point this year.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you could do that, obviously it makes a difference. So, just being able to, like you said, it's a new system, but everybody's starting at the same time, same pace, and just kind of learning it together. It helps.
Good practice today. First day with the whole group here, so felt really good about what we were able to get accomplished and got some good work in. So go ahead, I'll answer your questions.
Dennis, you've been asked numerous times over the last few weeks if Marshall Lattimore was going to be here, and every time you said he is, and he was. Your early initial impressions of 23?
Well, first of all, I would say this. Lattimore's never missed a mandatory event, so I kind of expected that he would be here. I think I'll reserve kind of judgment till I get a chance to really watch the tape. I wouldn't say that anything necessarily stood out to me one way or the other. I know he made a one nice play over there on the boundary over there. So, but listen, to have both him and Alvin here, I thought was good, and we were excited about having him here. Thank you.
It was all my idea, not those.
What kind of physical condition did you see Alvin in? He's generally a guy who stays in shape.
Yeah, look, I thought he had to be in fairly decent physical condition to get through these elements out here today. I mean, it was hot out here today, so I thought he looked explosive. There's a couple of really good runs that I was impressed with. So again, like I said, both those guys being out here was a positive, and we're looking forward to continuing to work with them.
Is Alvin behind a little bit in the new offense because he just showed up, or is it?
Well,
I mean, in the big scheme of things, when relatively speaking, it's not really.
I would say that remains to be seen. I didn't get a sense that he was behind today, in terms of being able to get lined up, being able to execute his job. I think there might have been one protection that he might have been off on. I had to go in and look at it, but I thought for the most part he was on point with his assignments and what he needed to be doing. I think the biggest thing that we have to be able to do. I'm not worried about Alvin really knowing what to do. He's really smart and he's a professional. He works hard at it. It's really more about getting the rhythm and the timing, not just in the passing game, but also in the run game, and making sure you get a feel for the tracks and how these particular plays need to be run and what that feels like. So that's probably where we're going to have to play a little catch up and make sure we're all on the same page there.
And also, what about
relatively young and might have 3 new players. I mean, there is a lot of chemistry between runners and the blockers, isn't there, and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, that's all part of the, like, everything's orchestrated, you know, and everything has to be, you know, on point. The 5 guys up front have to be working together. You know, the fullback has to be able to take the right path. The tailback has to take the right path and know when to put his foot in the ground, when to keep stretching it, you know. So those are all things that take time to get the feel for. And look, the ball plays they're not new plays. These are things that, you know, we've done around here. But how we're teaching it and how we're asking it to be executed, there's some distinct differences.
How true is the evaluation on the offensive and defensive line when, you know, they can't really touch each other?
Well, look, I would say there's not really any true evaluation of anything going on right now, just because you're limited in terms of what you can do from a contact standpoint, right? So I think you can get, you know, a feel, but I certainly don't think any decisions could be made based off what we're seeing out here right now. And the good news is we got plenty of time to do that, and training camp will be that time, so we'll have plenty of time to make those evaluations. But yeah, I wouldn't overload my stock in anything that you're seeing out here right now.
What do you like about seeing Jonathan Abram working with Tyrann Mathieu, and then vice versa when Jordan's in there as well?
Yeah, well, look, I think all 3 of those guys are really smart, you know, so I think that benefits us. You know, Jordan, for being a young player, is highly intelligent, and I think Jonathan Abram, that's how he's been able to, you know, sustain himself in this league, is through using his intelligence and his brain. And so I think that can be, you know, a decent little, you know, group of guys back there in terms of the safety position.
And is your kind of youth and athleticism you have on the offensive line, is it a benefit with this scheme that you're bringing in this year, this running scheme?
Yeah, look, I think having athletes, you know, in general, regardless of what you're talking about, I think is a benefit, you know, and certainly some of the things that we're asking our offensive line to do, in terms of their ability to get to the second level, in terms of their ability to, you know, reach and run and cut guys off and do those things. Obviously, the more athletic you are, the better you're able to do that, and yet it's still a power game. It's still a big man's game, and you still have to be able to. It's one thing to say I can get to a spot. It's another thing to say I can move a guy off that spot, and so that's what you have to be able to do. And you know, we'll find more out about that when we get to training camp.
We didn't see Juwan Johnson. Is he dealing with an injury?
Yeah, look, Ryan Ramczyk is excused, and then anybody else you didn't see out here today would be dealing with either an injury or an illness.
Dennis, the undrafted free agent players, you got a D2 player, Kyle Sheets out of South Dakota. What do you want to see out of them right now, this stage of the game?
Yeah, look, I think anytime you're dealing with an undrafted free agent, I think what you're really looking for is, man, what are they doing to stand out? You know, and I had this discussion with the team earlier, is if you're an undrafted free agent, you have to do something to distinguish yourself from the rest of the guys. Otherwise, I don't even know who you are, you know, and so I'm looking for those guys to, you know, do something that makes me notice them. And certainly I think it's easier at the, you know, receiver position and some of the things that you can do in the passing game or as a runner. Some of those things, it's a lot harder to do in this environment. You know, as a defensive player or you know, somebody up front.
For Ramczyk being excused, is it just a matter of, hey, take some time and see where you're at, or is there, like, it could be rehabbing here theoretically, like what's?
Yeah, no, I think the plan all along is for him to have been in back home, resting, doing his rehab plan there. We got a plan for him. You know, certainly, you know, we don't have to make any decisions now, but I haven't seen the progress that I was hoping to see, and so yeah, we just got him at home doing his rehab there.
Kind of said similar stuff a few months ago about the progress. Like, where is it now? Is it still trending in a negative direction, or?
I would say it's not trending in either direction right now in terms of the progress, you know. So I wouldn't say there's been much change since the last time we discussed it.
What kind of timeline do you have at this point as far as recovery?
We don't have a timeline.
With Chase, did you talk to the doctor, or said last week that maybe you get
Yeah, look, he's gonna go out and see Dr. Watkins at some point this week, and so you know, we'll have a better feel for where he's at probably after this week.
Coach, we've heard in this new offense that yards after catch may be something that's improved a lot. Is that something you're looking forward to and seeing?
Yeah, I think that's a place where we need to improve. I don't think we've done a good enough job in yards after catch. Look, some of that's scheme related, some of that's technique related, and you know, guys being able to catch the ball and get north and south rather than running from sideline to sideline. I think that's an area that we've got to improve on. You know, offensively, I think we've left some yards on the field the past couple years in that area. And look, some of the run after catch I think will be scheme related, and the timing and the rhythm and the passing game, getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand a little bit faster, might allow for us to create a little bit more separation early in the down and get a little bit more run after catch.
Dennis, right now, who is in your mind? I know you're not playing in a week. Would be like the starting nickel corner or the nickel slot guy?
Yeah, I think as we sit here right now, Alontae Taylor's that guy.
Is he willing to want to really do that? How's his confidence level there?
Yeah, I think his confidence level is good. I mean, I think there were some areas that he could have improved on from last year. I think he's approached it the right way. He's working extremely hard at it. He's a talented player. And look, I would say, to be too harsh on him for his performance last year, I think would be a little unfair, in that you're talking about a young guy that's, basically playing a position that he really hadn't played. And so, those things take a little bit of time to get a feel for, and I think you'll see an improved player in that area this year.
In what ways have you seen growth in that role from him just in the sport?
Well, I think just his understanding of what we're asking him to do right now is 10 times, 20 times more than what it was at this point last year. So the floor that we're starting at is much higher than where we started at, last year. And so we're really basically, our floor this year is what our ceiling was last year. You with me? And we're hoping to build on that.
Dennis, how about McKinstry comes back? Is that where you anticipate?
I see him competing in that spot, along with the outside corner position. And so, I don't really see anybody being just a nickel only. I see that position being a dual position player. So whether it's nickel safety, nickel corner, we don't have anybody on our team that's just a nickel only.
With Alontae,
go ahead, Ed.
Say what day you're going to start practice in Belleville? Please tell us that.
The 24th is the first actual practice day. 24th. 23rd we'll do a conditioning test, and the 24th will be our first day of practice. July 24th.
You mentioned the elements. How did you think the team did in it? And are y'all doing anything special to combat it at all? Or hydrating a lot?
We're just hydrating a little bit more. Look, we're gonna face a lot of things, a lot of adversity throughout the season. A multitude of different things. The weather being one of them, the elements being one of them, and so you got to be able to block those things out and focus on the task at hand. So I thought overall we did a good job of that today.
How close is Kool-Aid to being ready to practice with the team and get on the field? He did some drills today.
Yeah, so he was pretty much on the side for the most part today. He went through the walkthrough, and then he was on the side with the trainers for the most part. Look, I think he's getting closer, and my expectation is that he'll be ready to go for training camp.
Yeah, just for clarity on the absences, other than Ryan, the injured players, they're all here at the facility today?
They're all here.
Dennis, Eric McCoy seems like a guy who's had a little bit of a leadership role in that locker room the past couple of years, but using a couple 10-year vets, Ramczyk not being here, is he kind of elevated that?
Yeah,
way?
yeah. And look, I'd say he's had a lot of bit of leadership
Yeah.
in that room over the last couple of years. I think that's been part of the role that I think he's embraced, and I look for him to take another step forward in that area this year.
How do you feel about your receivers as a whole? Are you kind of looking for a third to emerge, or collectively, how do you?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, we're first day of, you know, vet mini camp, you know, so I'm not getting really too much into where I see guys in terms of evaluation. Guys are out here working hard. All of that, the rest of that's going to sort out, you know, as we get closer to the season.
Coach, Derek played one series in preseason last year. I know hindsight's always 20/20, but knowing that you have a new offense, would he theoretically play a little more in August, or have you thought about that at all?
Well, that's a two-part question. Have I thought about it? Yes. Am I ready to talk about it? No, not right now. So, but I'd say theoretically anything's on the table. All good? All right, thanks, guys.
Do you have any early impressions on defending this new offense that they're running?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, communication is always important, especially on defense. And I think that they challenge you as far as, you know, pre-snap, you know, movement, motions. You know, I think everything they do is all about leverage and, you know, trying to out-leverage the defense. So, you know, it's good work for us. You know, I think once we get to camp, you know, I think we're going to be practicing against the 49ers for a little bit. So I think we'll be well-oiled for those guys. But, you know, I think it's a great scheme. And I think we have the players to really show that.
They talked about the nickel position, possibly switching it out between Alante and even Kool-Aid. With the defensive backs you guys have in this locker room, you know, how versatile can the alignments be?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. You know, it's really all about commitment. You know, I think when you have guys that can play a lot of different positions, it's just all about those guys committing to play. I think we have the guys to do it. You know, obviously, Alante has, you know, shown a lot of great things, and you know, I know he's the guy that wants to get better. You know, really than what he put on tape last year. So he's in the right space. Obviously, Kool-Aid is, you know, a young guy that's, you know, kind of come up under Nick Saban, so you know, he can kind of speak our language as far as, you know, DB play. So, but we look forward to Alante, you know, stepping up and, you know, being what we want him to be.
How's it having, I know it's just one day, but Marshawn being back out there
Yeah.
with you all? And when he shows back up, is it kind of like what's in the past is in the past, like new chapter, new season?
Man, listen, man, we always happy to see him. We all go through different things in life, and so you know, I think it's important to kind of give people their space, you know, and then embrace them when they come back. But like I said earlier, man, like he's always been a great teammate. He's always been a good dude. You know, it's just a matter of him staying healthy and staying in that competitive mindset. And I think when he's in that space, he's one of the best. So you know, I think that's my job, is to try to push him and keep him, you know, in that realm.
Tyron, there was like a lot of talk after the season about culture and building things the right way. Have you seen like the buy-in from the team, and like, do you think it's at a stage where you want it to be?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely gotten better. You know, I think with, you know, the way Mickey ended the season last year, and you know, I think how DA came into this new season, it feels better. It feels different. You know, it feels like a team. You know, we're doing a lot more team activities. So I think all those things are important when you're dealing with 60, 70, 80, you know, alpha males. You know what I mean? It's just how do I get all these guys on the same page? And I think everybody from the top down is trying their best to push that into the right direction.
And it all starts this time of year, right? Like,
Yeah.
and this time of year is important to build.
Correct. And like I said, you know, the off season isn't too much about the physicality, you know, of football. It's, you know, more so about learning the scheme and, you know, communicating in those critical situations. So, you know, I think if we can continue to work on that, you know, on top of what, you know, coach is doing, I think we all will be in the right space, you know, when it comes to training camp.